Close your eyes and, well, just imagine a world without silence. The year is 1916, somewhere along the Western Front, and honestly, the air vibrates with constant menace. Artillery never stops. It has become the heartbeat of this broken landscape. The trench around you is a narrow slot of mud and misery, carved into earth that smells of damp clay and, something darker beneath. Above the parapet lies no man's land, barbed wire, craters, and death. You need to reach the men 300 yards to your left. The telephone wire was cut 2 hours ago. Your runner was killed at dawn. Pressed against your ribs inside your breast pocket is a small mirror, and if you know how to use it, it might just save your unit's life. Welcome to Fieldcraft Chronicles. Today we uncover one of the most overlooked survival techniques of the First World War, the pocket mirror signal. This is the story of soldiers who adapted, improvised, and communicated under conditions that would break most modern minds, and whose fieldcraft carries lessons every bushcraft practitioner should know. Life in the trench. Surviving before you could signal. The trenches were not the static fortifications photographs suggest. They were living organisms of survival engineering, fire trenches, support lines and reserve positions, linked by zigzagging passages designed to contain blast and prevent enfilading fire. Men lived in dugouts reinforced with timber and sandbags, from shallow scrapes to deeper German-style shelters, housing a dozen soldiers. Units like the Royal Montreal Regiment became legendary for their defensive fieldcraft, understanding that the ground itself was a weapon. Food arrived cold. Bully beef, hard biscuits, flame-shielded tea. Water came from fuel-tainted tins or shell holes, filtered through putties and boiled when fuel allowed. Scarcity was the permanent condition, and adaptation was the only response. The mirror signal. A flash of genius. Rooted in heliography, a military signalling science dating to the 1870s, the mirror signal adapted a precision long-range technique to the intimate chaos of trench warfare. Professional heliographs could transmit Morse code over 20 miles. A soldier's shaving mirror did it in hundreds of yards, with nothing but sunlight and knowledge. The breakthrough was the fireball method, holding the mirror to the eye and peering through a tiny unsilvered spot at its center, aligning target and reflection simultaneously. Short and long flashes became dots and dashes. Morse code transmitted silently across terrain where every other communication link had failed. No battery, no wire, no operator required beyond one trained man and a clear sky. Camouflage, stillness, and the sniper's eye. The mirror's greatest strength was also its gravest danger. A careless flash could draw a German sniper's bullet within seconds. Skilled operators used dead ground, sandbag screens, and brief controlled bursts, never signaling twice from the same position. The discipline of stillness underpinned all trench concealment, Hessian-wrapped helmets, mud-darkened faces, burlap-threaded netting. Whether sniper or signaller, survival required becoming part of the landscape itself. Motion betrayed, silence protected. These were not abstract principles, they were daily life. Morale, hygiene, and the will to endure. Body lice caused trench fever across hundreds of thousands of men. Soldiers ran candle flames along shirt seams to destroy eggs in the ritual known as chatting. Trench foot devastated units until whale oil treatments became mandatory, but morale was the deepest survival resource, maintained through dark humor, small rituals, and quiet acts of care between men. Shared tobacco, a compass lesson, a correctly strapped putty. Unit cohesion was the invisible infrastructure holding the war effort together, and every shared skill, including how to flash a message across no man's land, was a thread in that fabric. What the flash still teaches. The signal mirror remains standard in modern survival kits because the principle has never aged. US Air Force records document mirror signals spotted from aircraft over 10 miles away. No battery, no frequency, no satellite required. But the real lesson is the mindset: solve impossible problems with what you have, read terrain before you need it, and keep those around you functional when conditions collapse. There is a soldier in 1917 pressing a mirror to his eye, finding his target through that tiny aperture. 3 short flashes, 1 long. The line holds for another hour. That flash has not stopped traveling. It reaches you now. What you do with it is up to you. If this episode opened your eyes to the forgotten fieldcraft of the First World War, hit subscribe on Fieldcraft Chronicles right now and never miss another deep dive into the survival skills, military history, and bushcraft techniques that shaped the modern world. Share this with someone who values history, self-reliance, and knowledge that matters when it counts, because out here what you know is what keeps you alive.